Oh, thank God. It's Friday.
TGIF.
Yeah. All right. Policy address again.
Policy address, it's a big news of the week, and everybody's kind of digesting what has come out of it.
Yep. Because it's too long?
Yep. Even here at HKSW, we got to break it up in chunks. Yeah.
So we are introducing the policy digestive biscuit.
Yes.
Andrew Work.
Started in the stomach, small intestine yesterday, we're in the large intestine today.
Okay.
Large intestine, big sector, education. So there was a lot about education in this one, but what was interesting is that it wasn't money getting shoveled into institutions. He wasn't saying this university is going to get this and that university is going to get that. He spent a lot of time saying, on one hand, that universities were not for everybody. He actually referred to it as a straitjacket.
Yep.
He said the straitjacket of mainstream education is not for everyone, something along those lines. But that was the term. So he did talk a lot about the VTC, talking about how the vocational training was more important. The VTC was going to have to come up with a new strategy. They were going to become more important for education in Hong Kong, and the government was going to be funding more spaces for students in that sector. They did have some for the university, but a lot of it wasn't to the schools, but it was directed through the students.
Yep.
So the students would be getting scholarships directly to go study abroad, $250,000 scholarships to go abroad. I mean, you get one of those, you've hit the jackpot.
All right.
I remember a couple of years ago, we looked at one of the recipients of that. It's quite a senior AO now, and she got $250,000 to go to Oxford to write a thesis about a word in Cantonese in linguistics. I mean, that's a lot of money to spend to do a whole thesis about one word. You know what I mean? But anyways, there's a few of those coming down the pike. There's money to send Hong Kong students to mainland Chinese universities.
Yep.
I hadn't noticed anybody really clamoring, for more funding to send Hong Kong students to mainland Chinese universities. So I'm not sure where they got the idea from, but, more partnership with China, whatever. I guess that's all part of the plan. And then, of course, yesterday we talked about poverty, but a lot of the poverty alleviation measures were focused on making sure the kids in poor families were able to get more money for education. And that, they're using what we call the voucher scheme, right? And so I think that's probably...
But I think you're for the voucher scheme.
Yeah, generally, yeah. I think that if you give the money to the parents, they'll be more responsible with it than piling it into giant government programs that are bureaucracy heavy, right? Put the money with the students, and this all goes to the idea of social mobility. If people are in the lower income brackets and they feel like they can never get out, their children are never going to get out, that's a problem. Education is supposedly the answer, but if the rich kids get all the best education, what happens to your social mobility? So the government's saying, if we're going to put money into poverty, let's make sure the kids at the lowest end of the bracket have more education opportunities.
Okay.
So that seems to be the thinking in this policy address, and we'll see. Things like that, you put them into place. It's going to be 15 years before you see what the impact is. So yesterday you talked about the poverty gamble. This might be the education gamble.
Yeah, gamble is the word.
Yeah.
It's a policy gamble.
Every policy address has got some gambles in it. The question is, who's going to pay the price?
That's right.
Not the guy reading the script, but the people of Hong Kong. So they'll get the benefit or pay.
But you know what? People tends to gamble more when they have more money in the pocket.
Well.
Yeah, you see.
I think most Hong Kong parents will, if you give them the money for education, they'll probably put it in education. I don't think they'll be
all right,
going to the jockey.
But it could be a gamble.
Yeah.
But if it turns out to be good,
yeah,
then you can rationalize.
Yeah.
To say this is investment.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
But if things turn sour,
then
they call it tuition. You have to pay the price.
You have to pay the price.
You have to pay your dues to learn that you have bumped into a war.
Well, our government has been criticized for having too much cash burning a hole in their pockets, so maybe they can take a few policy gambles.
All right.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Gamble is the word.
Gamble's the word.
Be careful. Be careful that you have to gamble responsibly.
That's right. Then you can call it investment.
All right. Thank you.
Right, see you next week.